So do you have a specific diet-wise stuff you like? So like, I've recently, another ridiculous sounding thing, but it makes me feel really good, is very low carbs. So, keto or even carnivore. It sounds ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes me feel really good even for performance.
Is Rogan has influenced you? Huh? He's in
No,
carnivore diet.
I was influenced actually by people. Yeah, well, there's I'll tell you where, because I was doing it before he was doing it. It was popular in the endurance athlete community, where it was fat adapted athletes. It was insane people who run 50 miles, 100 miles. They figured out that they could fuel their body with fat. They can go to fat as the source of energy as opposed to carbs. So, and I remember hoping that I'll be able to learn how to run 50 miles and so on. I've never done more than 22, but I just remember switching away from carbs and feeling really liberated. Like I wasn't thinking about food as much. I'm able to eat once a day and feel really good. I mean, I think everybody's body is different, but I think carbs make me lazy. Maybe it's because
The crash.
yeah, it's the crash, but also just psychologically something. It forces me to also think about food too much. Like it starts becoming, just like you said, our society is so much about food. There's so much advertisement, and so much of our social life is about food. And so it's very easy to live life, like live day to day, thinking, when is the next meal? Like, what am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? What am I going to eat for breakfast? And if you're not careful, that's going to get in the way of you doing cool shit for like liberating yourself and thinking like, what am I actually passionate about in this life? Like creating and forgetting to eat, those kinds of things, and still being able to fuel your body. I don't know. It's been fascinating to figure out like later in life that carbs aren't necessary to function well. It makes me think like we don't know anything about nutrition.
That's right. Personally, I don't think I could have a diet without carbs. I love chocolate too much. For me, eating it's a pleasure of life. I love my carbs. I love my sugar. However, if you talk about diet, I don't have a specific diet. But recently, what I'm trying to do is the days that I do not work out, I only eat once. That's kind of my rules. Plus, I try to respect 16/8 and do my 3-day fast 4 times a year. But the rest of the thing, I let myself loose because I don't think I would be happy if I don't give myself the right to eat. For me personally, I love to eat so much. Next, and you talk about diet, carnivore diet is very interesting because I a few years ago I went to Africa in Masai Mara, and it's a tribe in East Africa, and I went to visit them. I did a safari, and I talked to them. And these guys, their diet is 99% carnivore. That's crazy. And you should see they're very beautiful people, like shredded.
Yeah.
Some people would say, oh, it's genetic. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's genetic. But I mean, and think about the Eskimos also, that like most of their diet is on fish, right? Yeah. So I believe it can be done, like I believe it can be done like an exclusive carnivore diet. And I think I'm going to try it pretty soon just to have the experience, to see how it feels like.
Well, you're going to hang out with Joe. Be careful bringing it up because he'll convince you to forever switch to carnivore. Definitely. He loves it. I mean, but just like you, I think he loves food. So he can't ever stay on carnivore. It was funny because we went to an Italian restaurant together and I still only eat meat. Like I love the constraints of discipline. That's partially why I like carnivore. I like saying no to food that is delicious. But part of the problem is that I don't know how to moderate. You said chocolate. I don't know how to have one chocolate. Is that something you're able to do? Have like in moderation?
No, it's when I have an opportunity, I do it. I
Yeah,
don't have
this
any.
will-
I'm an extremist person, Lex. I that's the thing. When I have a chance,
just eat.
I go too much, and that's what I like about my life. That's what I like about fasting, because probably if I would not have discovered fasting, eating chocolate would give me cramps and all
Yeah.
sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Because people on ulcer colitis, normally they cannot eat chocolate, they cannot drink alcohol. But I believe because I'm fasting, that's the reason why I'm medication free. I can eat whatever I want whenever I want, but I have to do that fasting. And now it became to a point that it's no longer hard for me. It's like normal. I don't even force myself.
Yeah.
I don't. It's easy. You know what I mean? Some of my friends think I'm insane. But I tell them it's like when you get used to it, it becomes like an habit. And I know that hunter gatherer, like our ancestor, did not eat 3 times a day. It's not true. They eat when they could, and when they eat, they feed themselves as much as they can until because the next time, because they didn't know when they could eat again, right? So it's I think that's how we're built, to have this similar lifestyle.